Hi, everybody. Welcome to PyLadies Con 2024. The first session we have right now is the panel with the PyLadies Global Councils. My name is Mariatta. I'm the host and moderators today. I'm one of the conference chair, and I've been in PyLadies for quite some time now. And PyLadies has gone through a lot of transformation from starting as a group started by a few people, and now PyLadies is a global, worldwide organization with, I think we have like 300 chapters all over the world or something, and with a lot of different individual chapters. The role of the PyLadies Global Council is to lead and to provide support for all of the chapters worldwide. So, what we the group we have today is a few members of the PyLadies Global Council. We have Lynn, Marie-Louise, Annan, and Sarah Adigwe. So I will just pass the mic to them to introduce themselves, and maybe they could share a little bit about how they get started with PyLadies. I'll pass it maybe to Marie-Louise.
Hello, everyone. I'm Marie-Louise. I've been involved with PyLadies for quite a few years. I started off with the PyLadies remote chapter for quite a while because I had a small child at that time, and I didn't have the sort of the opportunity to go to like in-person meetups. And then through then I got involved with global organizing, started doing a bit of the sort of communications and social media and things like that. And then after a bit more time, I got involved with the Global Council. So I'm also, I work for the civil service, the UK civil service, as a data scientist. And then outside of that, I do some machine learning work. So some creative AI stuff, and then also just like building apps. And yeah, that's all from me. I'll pass on to Lynn.
Sweet, thank you. So hello, my name is Lynn Root. I am, I guess, the chair of the Global Council. I got involved with PyLadies I think I started PyLadies of San Francisco in 2012. I'm now based in New York, but it's been about 12 years, I guess, of involvement. After starting the chapter, I also helped other chapters start, more like physically, like going to Stockholm and help that out, and the Czech Republic, probably a few others that I'm forgetting, and also kind of virtually by helping folks start up with like resources that I collected over the years, and also with infrastructure like PyLadies.com and all the chapter websites and emails and stuff like that. Yeah, and you will also, if you've been to PyCon, you've seen me running around organizing the PyLadies booth and the auction to help raise money for us. So in my, I guess, day job, I am a staff software engineer at Spotify, have been there for 11 years. And I also teach Intro to Python at Columbia. So I'll pass it to Sarah.
Hi everyone, my name is Sarah Adigwe. I started PyLadies. I joined PyLadies 2019 in one of the PyCon conference, that's Nigeria. I got to know about PyLadies, and from there I went to Ghana also, and then I started as a mentor where I mentor girls how to code. And after that, I went back to my school and I started a chapter for PyLadies. And then I started with 5 students, and then hop and hop, we reach up to 100 students where we train them on how to code in Python and other skills related to Python programming language. And also a member of the PyLadies Global Council. And also I'm currently pursuing my master's degree in mathematical science, and where I fully also work with Python because most of my research work are fully based on Python. And I thank God to the fact that I started to the skill of learning how to code in Python right when I was in 200 level. So it's really helpful to me now. And then I'm passionate about applying data-driven insights to solve complex problems. And also before now, I have 3 years experience working as a data scientist. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Marie-Louise and Lynn. It's really thank you so much for sharing your experiences in Python. It's really inspiring to hear. Like there are so many different paths for you to get into Python, and now you are all serving the global community as the global council members. Would you like to share like what motivates you to be in the global council?
Could I go first?
Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I think what motivates me is being in a position to support, all the other women around, the world to sort of follow their dreams, and pursue a career in Python, because that's what I did. And I know that it wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for PyLadies. I mean, especially for example, I was in an environment where I didn't know anybody that could code in Python or knew anything about, software engineering or any of that stuff. So I think it's just because I've gained so much from this community that I want to then be a part of giving back so that others, can also receive, the same sort of encouragement and inspiration and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel related to that. I feel there is power being able to learn from, people who you feel related to.
Yeah.
That's why that's why the PyLadies community is very important. That's the community that I truly feel belong. Yeah.
Mhm.
Do you have anything else to add, Sarah or Lynn?
Okay, for me, it's about giving back and making a difference. When I started PyLadies, having a community like PyLadies made me feel supported and empowered, because I know that if not because of community like PyLadies, I won't be where I am in terms of technical skills. So I joined the Global Council because I want to help others feel the same way, and whether they are new into Python or looking to develop their skills. So that's the reason for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Lynn, do you have something to add?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, it's the same story for me. I love this community, and so I love giving back. I get a lot from it myself. I get, to learn about different Python aspects that I haven't learned before. There's always something new to learn. But what I think I get most from is like friendships and nerdy conversations and stuff like that like you can embarrassingly indulge in without, actually being embarrassed, I guess. So I get a lot from it, and therefore I just kind of want to help, help PyLadies grow, help it be better, always improve. It's definitely a slow process with all that, but it's so rewarding, and so I can't help but not help myself from giving back. So yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much for all of your service. It's really appreciated by the community. I think I said it myself. I've been with the PyLadies community long enough, but I know because we keep growing and there are a lot of new members in the community. Would any of you be able to share a little bit more about exactly what is PyLadies, what is our vision and mission?
Yeah, sure, I can go. So I guess I sort of touched on it when I spoke responding to the last question, which was, it's a community of, I guess, self-identifying PyLadies members, because we want to be inclusive for everyone. But then it is also a group for women as well. I want to make that clear. So it's a bit of both. And it's for a group of people that want to pursue a career as either a Python developer, or I guess now we've got like lots of data scientists and things like that also need to learn Python for various, sort of applications and things like that. And it's a space where it's a space where there is sort of no limit to what you can try out and learn. So, for example, from what I see, the PyLadies model is that like you can come in, propose an idea, and then try and sort of trial that idea to a particular group, and then if that works, you can get more people involved and things like that. And I think that particular model allows people that don't have any experience to come in and to develop so many skills that they wouldn't have normally been able to have, I guess, acquired in another setting. And then through that experience, they're sort of meeting other women that are either very experienced with Python or learners like them or intermediate, whatever the skill level is, like everybody's gaining so many different additional skills. And then that just sort of helps to propel everybody to like the next level in their career. Yeah, that's what I believe part of the mission is. I guess Lynn and Sarah would be able to add a bit more.
Yeah, so I support what you said. Yes, so our vision is simple: is to see more women be represented in tech space, especially in Python programming. And then I would say that our mission is to make that happen by creating a space where women feel welcome, can grow their skills, and also build meaningful connection. That's for me. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Yeah, I think it's important for us to understand like why are we in this community and not others, you know. Um, so now let's get to the Global Council role itself. Can you share a little bit more detail? I think I said it very broadly, like what is the role of the Global Council? However, I'm not in the council and you are. Maybe if you can share with the rest of the community just more details of what it meant to be a member of the PyLadies Global Council.
I could start.
No, you go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so I guess I kind of see the Global Council as similar and smaller than to the Python Software Foundation Board of Directors. We try to, I guess, foster the community itself and help chapters, do what they do best in chaptering. I mean, the council, we try to keep, I guess I should have a more baked answer than this, but we try and fundraise to help local chapters as well as help people get to PyCon. We are organizing ourselves in terms of governance so that we can have a better relationship, I guess, with the rest of the PyLadies community. It's a slow process because we're all like full-time like engineers and data scientists and such like that. So, but we just want to make sure that PyLadies is a sustainable organization, our efforts are literally only going towards that. I guess maybe Marie-Louise, maybe you have a better package answer than I do.
No, I think that you've included everything. So yeah, I think you've covered it all. Thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, as I've shared earlier, like PyLadies has grown so much. I think this is the 13th year of PyLadies since since it started in the beginning. I lost count, but it's a long time. Do you have examples of the highlights and achievements of the global PyLadies community that for our audience to learn about, to be inspired about them?
I think the first thing that I can highlight is the introduction of the Outstanding PyLady Award, which was introduced, I guess, very early this year and first announced at PyCon US. It is actually, the idea came from Chuck, and it was a fantastic idea. And it's basically folks nominate, PyLadies and PyLady community members and about how they've done awesome stuff and that they should be recognized. And as a recognition, they get a cute little award, and they also get either they can go to PyCon, with some funding, or they can get like $1,000 as a little token of appreciation. But I think that the fact that this idea of an award was suggested by someone outside the council and embraced, and then now we are regularly like showcasing the awesome PyLadies from around the world. I think that just is indicative of how inclusive and how great ideas can start from anywhere and be leveraged and expanded upon. To me, it just shows how much of a community PyLadies can be. And there are plenty of other highlights and achievements within the global community that maybe either Sarah or Marie-Louise can think of.
Yeah, I would say another proud moment for us as a PyLadies is that we've seen our speakers step up to speak at major Python conference, which is actually big, and also them contributing to big open source projects. So we can see the impact of PyLadies out there. That's it.
Yeah, and I was going to add that I guess like Lynn and Sarah have said, like there are so many sort of like great contributions, but also one of them is today, like this conference, like this has started, was it just last year, right? So this is the second one, and this is amazing because it's the very first time in the PyLadies history that there has been a conference. And it's just a wonderful opportunity for all the PyLadies to come together and to share different sort of journeys and types of work and things like that. So yeah, I think it's made everybody proud. So thank you to everybody that's organized this and put it together.
Thank you for sharing of those. And yes, I also want to just give a shout out to all the speakers and all of the PyLadies community here who have joined and participating. I really do think there are a lot of us here doing a lot of great work. For this conference itself, to me, is really meaningful because I've been to other tech conferences. I hear a lot about people saying, we don't have women speakers. And look at us, look at this 24 hours of mostly, lots of women. So it's not because there is no women, but maybe there's something else. So I feel like it is a testament of the PyLadies, the inclusive PyLadies community supporting each other that we can do all of this. Yeah. So thank you for sharing all of that. And we have lots of successes for sure. But I'm sure there are also challenges. There are something called growing pains. Do you see any challenges that our community members facing? Is there any ongoing issues, or do you have plans on how to help grow the community?
Yeah, something that immediately comes to mind is I think I've talked about this before in maybe another conference time, but there won't ever be a time, like a specific moment in time, where we can say, all right, we're done. We've made it. Diversity is solved. It's like it won't ever be a properly solved problem. There's going to take a lot of constant evolving effort, as particularly as society evolves, I guess. And so because there's no end in sight in needing something like this and needing a very supportive community like this, I do often think about the longevity of the Global Council members, but also of the chapter organizers and volunteers of any sort in this whole community. It takes a lot of time and effort to contribute in whatever way that folks want to contribute. And I think one of the biggest challenges that we have is how to handle burnout and energy resources. This is like something that is like on the back of my mind frequently. And it's not something easily solvable either. Folks handle their time differently, handle their resources and how they react differently. And so, one piece of advice is not applicable to everyone. So it is hard. All we can do right now, I guess, is collect resources and help educate, and also be a kind ear to folks that do feel like they have burnout and want to talk through it. And also we need to be super understanding of when they need to step back, and honor them for giving the time, and praising them for understanding their limits and also stepping back in that. So there's no right, or there's no like solving this neatly. So this is something that I'm forever chewing on, I guess.
Yeah, and I agree when you said like one advice may not apply to others, and I think something we, as a global community, something we need to consider as well is that different areas of the world have different cultures, and there are different, like how we solve something in some region might not work in the other regions. So that's something that I think a challenge for all of us. Before I ask the next question, I forgot to mention, for those of you who are watching and participating on Discord, you can ask questions to the Global Council on Discord, and we will have some time later, like in the next few minutes, we will go through the questions you posted on Discord, and we will have the Global Council answer these questions. Yeah, I think the other issue that just because we are all distributed, like different, I know you are all over the world, Marie-Louise, you are in Europe, Lynn, you are in America, I'm in Canada. How can each chapters, because I think the goal is to support all the chapters all over the world with their local organization, like what is the best way for chapter leaders to engage with the global community?
I know I just went, but I'm just going to steal a little bit of time. Again, I think I was going to do this like this weekend. I was just going to announce it now, but we're going to open up discussion boards, I guess, on GitHub, so that we will have like more open communication between us and members, community members. We are on Slack too. I know not everyone's on Slack, and not everyone has the patience for Slack, but we are there, and there is like an organizers channel. I think it's called Organizers, that we're all a part of. But yeah, I'm really excited for these discussion boards. We have a couple interesting updates to share. I don't want to spoil anything because it's not my update to spoil, but it's yeah. Discussion boards will be the next new thing of engaging with us. Yeah.
That's very exciting. I think that's very exciting. I'm sure all of our community members will be looking forward to engage with the global community. Is there any other secret announcements you would like to give a spoiler today? No, in that case, I have one question, just talking about getting support. Maybe we don't even know what kind of help we can ask. Are there examples of, these are the kind of things you should ask the Global Council for help? Do you have any input about this? Maybe Sarah or Marie-Louise?
So for example, if like a chapter has an event and they might need support with funding, that's something that they can contact us about, and then we can have a look at, the idea that they have and how much they need and things like that, and then we can discuss it and then agree on an amount. So that's one thing. Other things, I don't know, there are just anything to do with running a PyLadies chapter, you can contact us about, pretty much all of it, and we would love to try and help in any way that we can. So I don't think there is a limit on specific areas. It's just, whatever everyone needs help with, really. I don't know if Lynn and Sarah would be able to add.
Yeah, so I feel that we have also tools that they can communicate. That's Slack. So if you have anything you need to communicate, we're here to listen, to help, to hear you out. We'll try our best to listen to everything, so we can communicate with us using Slack channel, and then also mailing lists also. So we are available through that. Thank you.
Great, thank you. Another question, I think a lot of people join the community and they would like to know how can they participate, like how can they contribute to this community? Just like I hear of how you all started with your own local, community chapter, and then you step up and become and join the global council. What are other opportunities within the PyLadies community, and how can members participate?
Yeah, there are so many ways. So you can organize events. I started by setting up a community, local community in my school. You don't have to be big, like big. You can start with 5 students. Five, yeah. So, and if you enjoy writing, you can create tutorials or share experience using blogs. So you can also have by becoming chapter lead and or helping behind the scene if things like event planning or managing so other things. So every contribution, either big or small, makes a difference. So that's it.
Yeah, I agree. I just want to add that there is also an opportunity to sort of contribute remotely, as I did for quite a long time. So, like we've mentioned Slack quite a few times today already, but Slack is a great place to join to find out what's going on. There's lots of activity there. There are lots of people that need help with various projects. You don't even have to start something from scratch. You can get involved and support somebody with what they're doing, and then gradually, I guess, you meet more people and you find out a bit more about other things that you might want to do. And I think that's also, it's always a good starting point.
Thank you. We actually just received a question from the audience. Jessica asked, how can someone become a council member, and what commitment does it involve?
Yeah, I can answer that. So the council started with elections, so we are elected by the community, by the PyLadies community. You might be wondering, when was the last election? Well, it was a while ago. And when's the next one? Well, that's on a priority to sort out. I'm just going to be very honest in that, like, the council has had difficulty in organizing itself, in developing its own governance model. We look to PSF to help us or to model for us, but it still needs to be unique to us. So we are in the process of creating our governance model, and then as soon as we do that, we will be having elections. And we're actually looking for outside help to help us with the whole governance model, so we're not just trying to figure it out ourselves. So that is how you get on the council. And when elections do happen, we won't be shy about it. You'll hear loud from the treetops or whatever. But the commitment is about, we meet once a month to talk about agenda items. There might be like the occasional additional meeting or so for discussions that need to be longer, more than an hour long. And then there's like administrative stuff. Like we each kind of have our own respective things that we kind of do. Like Marie-Louise, you handle a lot of the socials for PyLadies. I handle a lot of like the infrastructure stuff, and just because it appeals to me. And for me, that takes maybe about like a few hours a month as well. So it's not a huge commitment, and you can put in more or less time, but it's at least 1 hour a month, essentially. Anything to add, Sarah or Marie-Louise?
I was just going to add to like kind of what you were saying about the challenges that we have faced, and just to say that this is the very, very first time that there has been a global council, because before, to anyone that's new to PyLadies, it's a volunteer-run organization, so we didn't have any sort of governance structure whatsoever. So that's why we're trying our best just to sort of iron out all of those sort of bumps and get it perfect, so that when we hand it over to, when we have an election, hand it over to the next group, that you don't have any problems. And it can still be iterated, of course, but at least we want to get the foundation right. So but like Lynn said, it's not too much of your time if you want to join eventually, at least an hour. And you can find something that you're interested in, like how we do, and we kind of work on our own little projects within the council. And it's really enjoyable. You learn so much, so it's definitely worth it.
Thank you so much. We have another question from Carol. The question is, do you think the Global Council needs different skills than a chapter organizer?
Yeah, I would say yes, because a chapter organizer needs to understand their region or that particular sort of group of women, whereas a global organizer needs to understand, a wide range of communities and cultures and things and ways of working. So I think that you can come in as a chapter organizer, of course, and be a global organizer, but I think just bear in mind that the development that you're going to have to undergo is going to be a little bit different. So you're going to have to spend a lot more time sort of finding out about what different chapters are, how they run, what they need, and things like that. And that will just sort of help to inform the way that you're able to contribute at a global level. I don't know if anybody else wants to add to that.
Great. I think the other questions I was wondering is that, what are other resources available for our local community, for the different communities? How can they find out about the kind of resources for them?
Yeah, right now there is the kit. You can go to kit.pyladies.com. That has basically resources for prospective chapter organizers, current chapter organizers, and I think just like members too. And it basically tells you what exactly you need to do to start and to continue with hosting a chapter. Yeah, and then in terms of other resources, yeah, we have like random resources like how to add your chapter to PyLadies.com on GitHub. A lot of things are on our GitHub organization, PyLadies organization, and then there's a lot of people resources in Slack as well. I think there's like a help me channel. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So what now? The community is still growing. Is there what can we expect from PyLadies going forward? What's still waiting for us?
Okay, I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry. We can expect PyLadies to be a little bit more organized in the future as we iterate on the governance model for the whole organization. But we can also expect, I guess, more involvement with the community with what we're planning. I know that there's a question in the Discord about like having issues labeled easy for newcomers to contribute to. We are doing, if you were at PyCon US this past year, we had a sprint on the PyLadies website because it's so antiquated, so outdated. And this is what we were planning. This is that I'm kind of spoiling some surprise, but like this is what's coming in the future is a refreshed website, and we are wanting involvement from anyone who wants to be involved to contribute to our new website. So I'm really excited about that. I don't know if Sarah Marie-Louise has any other ideas.
Yeah, PyLadies, we're also working on strengthening resources for local chapters because we've seen for the past years resources have not been reaching to local chapters, but recently we've been at least helping funding local chapters when it comes to organizing events. So we are trying and we're expecting we're going to do more of that in the coming future.
Thank you. I think we have just one last question here. Is there a way to reach out to the council directly?
Yep, we have an email address, so council@pyladies.com. So just, contact, thanks. Just contact us anytime, and we'll get back to you.
Great. I think that's all the time we have right now. Well, thank you so much, Thank you so much, Marie-Louise, Lynn, and Sarah, for joining and sharing all of this with the global PyLadies community. We really appreciate it. Thank you, everybody. We will
Thank you
take
for
a
having
short
us.
break. Thank you. We'll take a short break before the next session.
Thank
Bye.
Thank
you.
you. Bye bye. See you. Bye.